Good morning, Facebook. It is 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are live. Things are always blinking on Facebook. Hey, live from the center of the world, Chicagoland, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We try to be consistent, get here, and have a conversation, share something with you that's thought-provoking, something that maybe could help you if you listen, if you apply, move your financial position forward, move your life forward, physically, spiritually, emotionally. That's what we're here to do. All right, so today, don't know if you know, but after 6 years, the prince, the purple one, his estate has finally settled through the probate process, right? I don't know if you remember this prince who claimed that Disney was the slave master and he was a slave. Okay, he had on his beard slave. He had carved into his beard slave. Right, and so he got out of that contract. He created his own record label. Kudos, wonderful, like brothers on the right path, right? Just so happened, and any career, any work has an occupational hazard. His was dancing and singing and jumping all over the stage, which calls for him to have some hip surgeries. Those hip replacement caused a lot of pain. He got addicted to opioids, and of course, tragically enough, in one of his fits of pain, he took too much pain medicine, and he died. Right? Tragic. All right, pain management, pain therapy is a serious business, right? Hey, if you're in pain, you got some pain, address it, deal with it. Hopefully, in a holistic way, you can manage your pain. So we're going to talk about Prince probate case. Prince estate was $156 million. Boy did well for himself, relatively to all the things that he had created, right? So $156 million. After his death, 6 years later, the dust has finally settled, right? He had 8 siblings. His father had children, things of that nature. 4 of those siblings had passed away, so that only left 4 left, right? And so, of course, those became his heirs, some of his siblings. Well, now, Tyka Nelson and Omar Baker, they sold their portion to this music group called Primary Wave. Now, Primary Wave owned 50% of Prince estate that's left over, right? Can you imagine? We know the immersive tours going on. They make more money off of you when you die than when you are alive. This man who thought the corporation and their lawyers were slave masters and he was a slave, this is how in disarray he left his massive estate. Most people, and let's go with 99% of the people on the planet, all the 8 billion people, will never ever amass $156 million. Right? Now, you live in America, you got a serious problem amassing that much money, right? So let's look at it The IRS put a 40% claim against his 146 million. The state of Minnesota had a 16% claim against his 156 million, right? And so it's 40 for the IRS, 15 or 16% rather for the state of Minnesota, 15% for the attorneys to take him through that 6-year process, right? That's 71% of his estate that was gone. So when you look at the 4 family members that was left, there was like $6 million of cash for them to split. And then, of course, 50% of his catalog, right? Which where the real money is at, right? So, and I know that, once again, 99.9% of all the people on planet Earth, 8 billion and counting, will never, ever, ever experience $156 million of money, right? But if you die wrong in America, the country, the attorneys, the state, the federal government will get too much of your money, right? So you hear this misnomer, oh, he died without a will. Well, it just means he died intestate, without a will. But if he would have had a will, the same numbers would have been the same because he would have went to probate. There would have been no internal fighting with his siblings, right? Who get what, who don't get what, right? No, that would have been spelled out in the will. But still, the whole probate process, that's too much. 71% of $156 million got stripped off of this man's earnings. Incredible. Incredible. Could you imagine, having $1 million cash and 50 to 60% of that got stripped away before it went to your family? You sacrifice, because if you put $1 million together as a working person in America, you have did some sacrifice and some savings, right, to pass some stuff on to the next generation. So you are going to have exposed your estate, your small estate, $1 million, right? So currently now, what is it? I have it in my notes here. 4.5 million is exempt from federal. So you might not have, you don't have to worry about federal, right? What about state taxes? What about if you go to probate, 15 to 20% of your estate? So that's $1 million cash. That's $200,000 taken off. What if you got to pay some taxes, 5-10% to the government? Wow. Now we're talking about 30% of your hard-earned money. This is a small fry, small individual. So estate planning is critical to our reality. That we wills, a will is an outdated instrument unless you don't have any assets, right? If you just got some household goods or whatever. But if you own a primary residence, if you have a business, got bank accounts, 401ks, IRAs, just a decent portfolio worth anywhere from $400 to $1 million in totality, right? Or that could be the gist of your estate. But you don't want that estate, 30-40% of it, to go to people that it should not go to, that it does not have to go to. We use Prince because, as an example, excuse me, because he's in the news, right? It's a big case. It's in the news, but it's like, 6 years, $156 million. But here's the breakdown. The Internal Revenue Service a lien of 40%. Minnesota, 16%. An average of 15% went to attorney fees. Now that adds up to 71% of this supposedly conscious man about fight the power, the corporations. They end up with his stuff anyway, and then 50% of his estate is now owned by a group. His music publishings and rights and all that stuff, where they're about to make billions of dollars off of him. Well, don't worry about it. That's not your case, and it probably will never ever be. If it does, congratulations. But the typical American, you and I, if you got a home, 401k, a little stocks, a little business, a little savings, you do not want that to be I don't know, feed to death. You know, attorney fees, court fees. You don't want that. That can be prevented with a little planning, right? Once again, we do that. We've been doing that for over 20 years, helping our clients protect their assets from lawsuits, judgment, liens, divorces, and unscrupulous heirs. And when you die, how that the majority of your assets can go to the next generation without probate, which is the delay, without excessive fees and taxes and attorney expenses, right? It is worth investigating, right? So it's a little message I heard this morning. We provide a complimentary 50-minute consultation about this subject matter. You can go to JhP&x.com. You can schedule an estate planning appointment, and we will, 50 minutes, we will tell you what's exposed in your estate. We'll tell you what's exposed to probate, right? We'll tell you what's in your estate that's exposed to Medicaid spend down if you have a medical emergency. We'll tell you your tax exposure. This is your estate, right? So there's tax implication, medical implication, dying wrong implication. So it's your estate. You're working hard for it, and the reason that I decided to talk about this because I got a whole bunch of rich friends on Facebook. I think you are, because I see you in Maui, I see you in Mauritius. Oh no, oh that's right, you go to Mexico. But anyway, and you go to the Caribbean, and I see you, right? Now, so some of you are going to Morocco and to other exotic locations, Dubai, and I guess that's exotic now. But hey, listen, you're traveling. You have multi-residence, right? You have businesses, stocks and bonds, right? So if you have a multi-million-dollar estate, real estate, business, cash, stocks, bonds, you don't have 156 million like Prince, but trust me, it's the same value to you, number one, and then to your family, who they can take that money and create some more wealth with it, right? So Medicaid spend down, probate is devastating the African American community because assets that we could have passed on to the next generation is being feed to death. Attorney fees, court fees, excessive taxation, right? So once again, this little talk was about the purple one, Prince, $156 million estate, 40% the IRS assigned to it, 16% the state of Minnesota assigned to that estate, and then another 15% of attorney fees after 6 years. After 6 years after the brother died, 71% of his earnings, right, got taken away, right? So we ain't even talking about all the taxes that he had paid along the way: income taxes, sales taxes, employees taxes, right? So he had already gave at the well, and then they got him again right before he died, right? Don't let that happen to you. Yeah, that's right, Brother Gerard. That is a wow. That's a wow. And so the wow is the middle class homeowners. You know, I know people bragging today, you know, talking about, you know, I got $200,000-$300,000 of equity in my house, right? Yep, you could die tomorrow, and what's going to happen without your estate planning? Oh, I got a little 401k, I got 200,000 in it, right? You can die today, and what's going to happen to that? Tomorrow is not promised. What is your life but a vapor? It appears for a moment, then it vanishes away, right? But we think that we're going to live forever, right? Man, come on, take care of your stuff. JhP&x.com. We're offering a complimentary 50-minute consultation, right? Where we can talk up. We can say, hey, this is your exposure to probate and the assets that are exposed. We can talk. We can look at your medical exposure to Medicaid spend down in the event that you have a medical emergency and you become incapacitated. What are you going to do then? That's a slip and fall, right? That's a buddy of mine's. Man, I'm talking about this dude was a stud. He in a 35 miles an hour car crash, man. I hate to brain fog just diminished the man, right? Now he's an exceptional guy. I'm talking about a guy rolling, you know, hundreds of thousands, $400,000-$500,000 annually, real estate flipping and flopping, and you know, man, come on now, take care of your business. Prince did not, right? 71% of this $156 million went to people that he claimed he didn't like. Lawyers, corporate entities. Serious business, you know. Don't contact me. Contact any other estate planner that you can find. And if you're African American, I would suggest that they look like me and they're concerned about you and your family, right? So this is Ask Joshua. Like I said, I'm just talking about this because it's in the news. So it's the $156 million estate settles after 6 years. No, there's more to it than that, right? More to it. No, Dwayne, that is not unfortunate, Brother Lee. That is not unfortunate. Poor preparation prevents poor performance. That is not unfortunate, man. That is no. That could have been prevented, right? So when something happens to you that could have been prevented, they call that neglect, right? You neglected the details. Yeah. So ain't gonna let him off the hook. Ain't gonna let nobody off the hook. We don't take care of you. We don't take care of our business. I can't even let myself off the hook. Oh, that unfortunate. We already know we're gonna die. You know, we might not know how, right? But we know we're going to die. So we should prepare to die peacefully, physically, spiritually, right? So $156 million, 71% of that money was liquidated. 40% by the federal government. 16% by Minnesota state government, another 15% in attorney fees. Wow. Don't let that happen to you, because you're not a millionaire, you're a thousandaire. Don't think it can't happen to you, right? Anyway, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes of conversation. I don't want to get on my soapbox, all right? We appreciate you tuning in. Listen, friends, families, we helping you all over the country, right? No matter where you are, you go to JhPondexter.com, schedule you an estate planning free consultation, complimentary, and we'll look at your individual issue. Hey, as in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul. It's Friday. Have a great day. Bye for now.